So, we continue reading from the Yuktis. Last time we read the first Yukti and we established the reading order that will read the Sanskrit verse, followed by the English poetic interpretation. And then, after that, we'll jump to the second part of the book that pulls out a single word from each verse and then uses that as a seed for commentary. Any one of these practices can be a gateway to the yoga of wonder and delight. We shall continue with the second one. This is still Shri Bhairava speaking, the divine masculine, to us as the listeners, the divine feminine. Maruton tarbahirvapi veyadyugmani vardhanat bhairavya bhairavasyetam bhairavi vyajyate vapuh. Radiant One, the life essence carries on its play through the pulsing rhythm of outward and inward movement. This is the ceaseless throb, the rhythm of life, terrifying in its eternity, exquisite in its constancy. The inhalation, the return movement of breath, sustains life. The outgoing breath purifies life. These are the two poles between which respiration goes on unceasingly. Between them is every delight you could desire. When the senses are turned outward, your attention on the external world, attend also to the inner throb, the pulsing of the creative impulse within you. That's the second Yukti and the 25th verse overall in the scripture. The one word that we're pulling out of that text today is Marut. What is Marut? Marut is lightning and thunderbolts, roaring like lions, the flashing ones, shining ones, storm gods, Indra's companions, children of heaven or of the earth, armed with golden weapons, wind, air, breath, and the 5 winds or pranas within the body. The practice? Marut suggests that breath is wild and magical, like lightning. Let go of your civilized self and welcome your wildness, your storms. You are part of nature, part of the earth, a dynamic and self-sustaining little system within the larger ecosphere. The electrifying, magnificent, heavenly breath, Marut, keeps on quickening the life force, rolling on, rotating, Vardhana, inwardly, Andhar, and outwardly, Bahir. The practice here is to do nothing. Simply enjoy the show as this magic stuff flows inward, turns, then flows outward, and turns again. Welcome the flash of sensations, emotions, thoughts, and breath. Lightning is flashing in the body. Breath is moved by a spark of electricity. Thoughts are waves of subtle electricity flashing through your body and brain. Your heart beats every second or so, and each pulsing of the heart is incited by a little spark of electricity. Welcome it all. Revel in it as you would the rain if you were a farmer. Prana and Jiva, used in the previous verse, are both names of Maruts. Breathing is part of nature. Breath is exciting. and it propels itself. It's a charging, dynamic process of life, roaring along. If you want to know peace, let breath excite you. As you explore the sensations that are flowing in your body as you are breathing right now, you might consider one of these thoughts. I am awake to the electricity of life. The dynamic power of breath is renewing me moment by moment. Nature is wild and serene, and so am I. When you use a phrase such as one of these as a tool of thought and meditation, pulsate with it. Whisper or think the phrase very lightly. Then notice whatever feelings, sensations, or images the phrase evokes. Enjoy the sensations of breathing for a few moments. Then gently think the phrase again. Welcome all random thoughts and don't judge your experience. Anything you are tempted to try to block out is actually some part of your own life electricity and wildness, your Marut energy that needs your attention. That's the second Yukti. Breath as electrifying, as a storm, as a powerful yet serene form of nature. And all the sensations that come, persist, and return to and through the breath. I think we can read another Yukti. But as I said before, you can pause and practice any one of those for a lifetime. The third Yukti, the 26th verse of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Am navrajena vishet shaktir marud rupa vikasite nirvikalpataya madhyetaya bhairava rupata. Enter these turning points where the rhythms of life transform into each other. Breath flows in, filling. In this moment, drink eternity. Breath flows out, emptying, offering itself to infinity. Cherishing these moments, mind dissolves into heart dissolves into space, body becomes a vibrating field, pulsating between fullness and emptiness. The word is Shakti. Shakti. Power and skill in the use of power. Ability, strength, might, effort, energy, capability, effectiveness, efficacy of a remedy, regal power, the energy or active power of a deity personified as their feminine partner and worshipped by the Shakta, a sect of Hindus. The female organ, as worshipped by the Shakta sect, either actually or symbolically. The power or significance of a word, the power or force or most effective word of a sacred text or magic formula, or the creative power of imagination of a poet. Shakti. The practice? Shakti is power in all forms. She is the energy or active power of the divine. She is the power of regeneration and creativity, the power of words, the energy of mantras, and the creative power of imagination. Shakti is prana Shakti, the life force expressing herself as the flow of energy through the body. Shakti is Mother Nature. Meditate on Shakti as the dynamic breath of life within you. In the middle, madhya, of the motion of breathing, delight in the splendor of life. Attend to breath as play. Enjoy the rushing motion toward the end of the exhalation and inhalation, and savor the tiny movements as the flow reverses from one to the other. There are little moments at the end of the exhale, and again at the end of the inhale, when the air is not moving in a specific direction. It is not still. It is like a river with eddies and swirls, and the blood is absorbing oxygen and giving off carbon dioxide. A lot is happening, but it's a quiet space of refreshing calmness. You can rest your attention in these turnings. A thoughtlessness opens up. In these moments, life is twiddling its thumbs, rebooting. In this quiet swirling, you can say to yourself, I am filled with the power of life. Or you could use a prayer or verse from your native religion to say something like, God is breathing in me the breath of life. You could think of the word Shakti as a mantra, uttering it as an inner expression of awe. Whenever you use a Sanskrit word as a mantra, whisper it softly for a couple of minutes as you are getting used to the word. If you really like the word, it will continue to resonate in your awareness. From there, you can follow it into the silence and spaciousness. Shakti. Okay, let's read one more Yukti. This is the 4th and the 27th verse overall in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Kumbhita rechita vapi purita vayada bhavet tadante shantanama shaktya shantah prakashate. At the end of the exhale, breath surrenders to quietude. For a moment you hang in the balance, suspended in the fertile spaciousness. That is the source of breath. At the end of the inhale, filled with the song of the breath, there is a moment when you are simply holding the tender mystery. In these interludes, experience opens into exquisite vastness with no beginning and no end. Embrace this infinity without reservation. You are its vessel. The word is Kumbhaka. 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 A pot, a measure, a jar, pitcher, water pot, a ewer, a jug with a wide mouth, the sign of the zodiac, Aquarius. The practice? With this sutra, we are invited to attend with tenderness to how we embrace the breath. There are many yuktis here, actually. One is to consider the lungs to be a pot for holding the breath. Kumbhaka has the connotation of a jug of elixir, a chalice, a vessel used in ritual offerings to the gods. We revere the air flowing in and out of our lungs as if it is an elixir, and we hold the breath as we hold a chalice of some precious substance we are imbibing. In pranayama, you may hold the breath in the sense of stopping it, but in meditation, holding the breath can mean holding it as you would a lover. Holding is an embrace, a welcoming touch, contact, skin to skin. In lovemaking, we hold the other person in order to allow them to move and allow ourselves to move. In certain sweet moments, the action pauses. Holding and embracing do not mean stopping the flow of movement. Embrace the flow of breath as you would something infinitely valuable, and you will know peace. There is a world of skill in the way we receive, hold, embrace, cherish the breath. How do you hold a baby, a cat, a lover? How do you hold a note when singing? Develop a light touch in your practice so you can hold a thought, a mantra, a breath as lightly as you would hold a hummingbird that has landed on your finger. It alights on you. There is no sense of capture. It is a miraculous meeting. Many meditation techniques emerge from your skill at holding, embracing, and cherishing your relationship with the world. Meditation enhances our capacity for aesthetic perception and rapture. Put yourself in situations of such joy and surprise that your breathing pauses spontaneously in awe. It takes my breath away, we say. As your capacity for this type of Kumbhaka develops, fill it with the beauty of nature and great art, whatever is so beautiful you want to drink it in. Those are the next 3 yuktis. The next time, we shall start the 5th yukti, the 28th verse of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. I hope you enjoyed those 3 breath meditation techniques from the lightning bolt of nature that goes from your inhale to your exhale, to Shakti as the divine feminine, to the embrace, to holding in your breath a divine elixir. These are things you can do at any time, at any place. And I very much look forward to continuing with you as we read through the Radiance Sutras next time. I invite any reflections or insights or curiosities that may have sparked in you during that reading.